research group in Wales, in Cardiff. What we do is we research claims into the paranormal.
Being a medium for me, is when I was younger, it was a bit of a nuisance dealing with the paranormal. It affected my friendship. I grew up quite, with the boys, and you know what it's like when you grow up like that. Like going out and drinking and partying, but I still had this part of my life. Couple of things, lots of things happened to me, and I didn't have no one to talk to, didn't have no one to turn to. I couldn't share the experiences because the boys I grew up with just didn't understand it. It sort of went on a lull for a few years, and it came back with a vengeance.
Well, we've been 11 years in May, and 23rd of September last year, that's when everything started kicking off. I've always sensed things in the house and around me, but never to the extent that what happened on the 23rd of September. Something caught my eye in the passage by there, and Kirsty took a photo, and a child's arm showed up on the photo. So we got really scared and ran across the street, and the one energy, which we believed was a man, just got really strong, really powerful, started turning kettles on and off, flicking lights on and off. Then there was another photo which came up of a lady's leg and two sets of children's legs either side of her leg. There's also numerous photos of the little boy looking out of the bedroom window. The bad haunting, I wasn't eating properly, and it was about 11 o'clock at night and I was really hungry, so I come down and I was doing myself some toast, and I was in the kitchen with my dog, and the kettle turned itself on, and it's one of them kettles you have to physically push it to turn it on. It's not a light lever one, and that absolutely terrified me.
We were founded in 2006 by myself, Chris, and Richard. What we do is, if people contact us, they usually contact us because they're going through some kind of event in their lives where they have paranormal activity going on within their home or within their venue. And what we'll do is we'll gather a team together, go out to the venue and assess the situation and try and gain evidence of that paranormal activity or debunk it.
My name's Jeff Fiddler. I'm from Barry in South Wales, and I've been at the Skirrid Inn as the owner for the last 7 years. First personal encounter I've ever had in here with a spirit. I was looking out towards the ancient front door from behind the bar, and on the left hand side of my vision I saw quite clearly a man dressed in what looked to be 18th century clothing, coachman type, like a sort of tricornered hat, like a Toby Jug figure, and it held in my vision for 2 or 3 seconds and then simply vanished. Other things that have happened to me since I've been here, I've had friends stay after time and we've been just having a quiet pint by the fire, and music will filter through from absolutely nowhere, and it's the kind of music you'd associate with the sort of Tudor times, the plucking of an instrument, and certainly unfashionable music, and lots of knock-ins and clear footprints, people walking around, absolutely unmistakable, and that's happened many times. The only incident we've had here of what people would call malevolence or somebody really terrified, we had a lady stay in room 1, she was in the bath, and she came down running to me. She was soaking wet, she had a coat on, and obviously not much on underneath, and her hair was very wet. And she said, she's tried to kill me, she's tried to kill me. But she couldn't explain to me, she thought she was held down in the bath, she couldn't get out of the water, but she didn't see anybody, and she couldn't explain to me why she said she's tried to kill me. Even though I would suggest 80% of women would have said he or it's tried to kill me, or he's trying to kill me. She was absolutely 100% sure that a woman had held her down under the water. And that was the only time I could say that I was absolutely terrified myself and going in the room to check everything. And she left, to be honest. And I've never seen it before or since. The person that shows herself most here is a lady called Fanny Price. She's an ex-landlady who passed away in the 19th century. She's buried not 200 yards from here in the church, and it's thought that she comes back, and we get sightings of her when there's a change. Like when I took over, people said she was about. My people who work for me saw her. Or when you move things around, and she might come and just check, is that okay? And sometimes if it's not, she feel a presence for days. And her presence is always precluded by the strong smell of lavender and the rustling of what feels like a nylon or cotton dress. The only time that I find the pub sort of gives me the EBGBs and makes me worried is when I'm locking up late at night. I get a feeling, and it's more than a feeling, that somebody is following me around, almost as if they're checking I'm doing it properly. But the feeling I get is that if I turn around, I'm going to see something. And so, to be honest, I don't turn around. That's the only time I feel sort of an oppressive or a malignant presence. I'm frightened to turn around. But other things that we see in here can be quite pleasant. The atmosphere is completely, mundane. It's lovely. In fact, it's quite pleasant.
I think the spirits want to let people know what happened here. And I'm picking up a female presence, and she's quite a powerful energy, and she just sort of like wants the pub to be left alone with it all, to be honest with you. I don't know if they want help. I'm not picking up this female energy is a bit stronger than everything else I'm picking up.
Yeah, so what we're going to try and do now is with the group here as well, we're trying to experiment with walkie-talkies, which allows us to try and find out if spirit can talk live and the walkie-talkies to us. Got knocking on the nerve. I can hear him talking, but they're knocking after. We're going to set down a £10 note and then put a geophone on top, which basically measures vibrations. If a big movement occurs in relation to the money moving, this should go off and let us know it happens. What we're doing, we're setting up a four channel DVR, which allows us to watch the rooms upstairs while we're not there in case something happens, and downstairs in the main bar area where Richard is right now. And hopefully we might get something from that, because it's our eyes and ears when we're not in those rooms while we're going around the venue.
Most people think about ghosts and spirits from movies where you open a closet door and one's going to be standing there and jump out on you, and you look in a mirror and one's standing behind you, so it's always that fear. And I don't think it's about that. I think it's just like they can feel you and they notice you and you notice them. I think they're just trying to let us know that they're there, and they want to get a message, or they want to just say, look, I'm here, what's going on? Because I think they're as confused as we are about it all, to be honest with you.
Being scared, it terrifies me, but I enjoy it because I get a bit of a thrill out of it, because it's rewarding to hear something from somewhere. It's like it makes you feel better about yourself, because there's another side.
I think why some people see spirit and some don't is because some are so closed to what's going on around them. Like, they probably could have seen spirit and they wouldn't even have known it was. And then there's some people who are such believers that they push themselves into that world of the paranormal, and so when they're in these circumstances and they see something, then it tells them it is a ghost. So I think that's why some people just completely are so closed off. They don't even notice it when they do see it. Picked up the energy of this children, and they've been brought here for something. It's not really good. Like it's something to do with someone who was here and they had quite influence over people, and it was something to do with it's something to do with money, or I don't know if they had power over people. They did, and they brought people here. 80% of ghosts are not scary, but there is about 20% that probably are scary, because they would have looked scary in real life. I mean, if you was out somewhere and you saw a guy standing in a dark corner and he looked quite scruffy, I mean, your perception of what's scary and what's not, defines what you see. Like, so I think, most of the cases it's like children are not scary, but when you think of a child ghost, they seem scary for your perception of films, but they're not actually. They just look like normal children.
The biggest one people report seeing is like a black shadow, a figure of a black shadow, and usually that I think, because I kind of have seen something like that myself, I think that is like a spirit of a person, but with our eyes, the way we see it with our own eyes, it's like a black, like mass.
My daughters have seen figurines, you know. They said it's a man in a cape, you know, somebody dressed up in black. We moved in, this place was shabby, it was horrible. We first moved in, electrics would turn off all the time, and little you'd just creak in. There was no carpet down, so like floorboards would go. And when I was decorating, things would move, like things would be in certain places and then things would move. Like when we come back the next day, it would be somewhere else. We finally moved in. We noticed sounded like people were coming down the stairs, would sit the third step from the bottom. I always thought it was my child, so I'd run out there and say get a bed, and nothing could be there.
Most ghosts can probably be explained in the sense that, you know, some people think they've seen something, because you get a lot of corner of the eye phenomenon and stuff like that, but all the cases I've dealt with personally, they've been actually paranormal cases, like, so we've done all the debunking, and what we're left with is the paranormal. So I'm not too sure. I think if somebody's convinced they've seen a ghost, there's a good reason behind it.
People who can and can't see them. The ones who have never seen one, I think they could as well. It's just a matter of, it would be discreet. It would be, waving to your neighbour, but they've already passed on and you don't know it yet, so it doesn't terrify you until later you realise you saw someone that has passed and that was a ghost.
My partner swore down it was me in the window. I was in the kitchen, folding wet washing up.
I do think the paranormal industry has a bad name, because you've got a lot of people, they've made it, commercialised it, when it's on TV, they've commercialised it too much. And I think there's the other side of it then, where you've got people who say such bizarre things, whether they're true or not, I don't know, but I know cases which are really bizarre. I've dealt with them myself, and if you told a skeptic, there's no way they believe you. So I think that's what it is some people go through it so bizarrely that their story it seems unbelievable.
I think people don't believe in ghosts because it's their belief, isn't it? It's something they're entitled to. If it's something they don't believe in, then they're more than welcome to believe that. It's just I believe it because of what I've been through. I guess if they went through what I went through, they'd feel the same way. But if it's down to their opinion, if they don't believe in it, I have no idea why someone wouldn't, because of what I've been through. But it's okay for them to feel that way, because that's only normal. It's only natural for them to feel like they shouldn't believe in it, because it is the supernatural. It's beyond our norms.
I've definitely given me an insight into the afterlife through going to a spiritualist church and being taught by a really good medium and seeing things there, and all my experiences before that and just my life experiences.
When you pass on, it's there for you, and it's not like you don't just it's my belief that you don't just die and end up in a box. You literally do pass over to a better place.
There is something there. Our loved ones are watching us, or they're there trying to say to us, like, oh, I can sort it out. And when we do, it's like EVPs, it's always a voice. Most of it's 95% of the time we ask a question, it's a voice there, like, so they're trying to talk to us, they're trying to explain to us, it's over there. I think this year it counts. It's over there they miss a year, and they wish they'd had more input year, and that's why I think it's there. It's because I've always wondered about it. Why there's like ghosts and spirits, and are they trapped here? Because I think it made me think for a while. It's fallible. It's going over the other side. Is there something wrong there? But I think that's what the message is. They're trying to tell us to sort it all out, and because we're not listening to the other things they laid for us, and this is what we got to look into. We got to find out what they're trying to tell us, and that we you know, we're all in the same boat. None of us can leave or go anywhere else. We all got to sort it out. We always see it in the movies when something crazy happens and we all join hands and sing "Come by Ark." Well, we're supposed to do it before it happens, and then when it does happen, we'll all be all right. And that's what I think the big message is, and why this paranormal stuff is happening. And hopefully, maybe we'll find the answers. We won't, you know, maybe you just got to have faith, but I think we'll find answers.